So I got to this point where I was backed in a wall emotionally a few years ago, and I didn't know what to do. It was like sink or swim, literally. I was like, I feel so awful, and I was crying all the time, and I was such a wreck. At that point, I broke and was like, okay, I'm going to do all these things that people have told me to do, every single one, because I had no choice. Bit by bit, I learned how to like myself, because I didn't like myself at all, and I had no self-worth, and I was full of so much fear and anxiety that I couldn't. So I'd be like, all right, I want to sing, but then I'd get on stage and I would feel so inadequate that it would really affect me after, and I had all these demons that I believe we all have, but we don't share. So it's really hard to get help when we don't share these things, and then they become heavier and heavier on our souls, and it just becomes unbearable. And so as I started to dissect this, and I think I'd had all this grief that I hadn't dealt with for so many years, I just cried all the time. Like, I did everything, and I showed up, and I got angry, and the resistance, and I didn't want to do it, and I didn't want to do any of these things, and some days I'd just be in bed like, I can't do it, but then the next day I'd show up again. It's just one little thing. Try one little thing that may better your tomorrow, and just begin there. It's just like going, right, I can't exercise, but I can do one little jump. I can do one jumping jack, and tomorrow I could do 2, and then next week you could do 10. And we all have these little things, these little monsters in our head, and so then I go, right, I'm not doing it because I'm fat and disgusting, and like all these silly things. But actually, it's like, be kind to yourself by just doing. Like, I treat myself like a little child. I'm like, okay, well done, because I have to remember to pat myself on the back. Otherwise, we got to be kind to ourselves and kind to one another. And I think that's so important.
Because you're obviously a musician, you're an artist.
I am.
And you listen to a lot of music. But what about that creative outlet, like that? Because I'm just thinking for musicians who might be watching, or anyone creative or who wants to be creative, like, how important is that to you, having that creative outlet? You say you write in your journal.
God, so important. And do you know what? Someone said this to me recently, because I get really like, I don't feel good. But if I start doing something creative, then I feel like my soul gets all fizzy again. So you're so right. It's just, for me, writing in a journal, or writing poetry, or going out walking and just getting immersed in the colours of autumn, or or doing vision boards, or doing writing music, or being in sessions, or even photo shoots. I find really creative, because I love just anything that can get our soul going. It could be anything, and it doesn't have to, for me, it doesn't have to mean, oh, I'm gonna do this song and it's gonna be bigger than Queen. It's about just doing it because I need to do it for myself.
Like taking the agenda away from it.
Exactly. Just having fun with it.
That for me, like, the creative process for me is all about the process. It's not really about the end result. It's just doing it. You do, especially musicians, especially like professional musicians, creative people who are programmed for so long to have an end result from their work. Like, if I'm going to do a gig, I have to get a certain reaction, or if I'm going to write a song, I have to put it on an EP, then I have to put the EP out and people have to like it. But actually, it doesn't always have to be the case, does it?
As artists, we there's a lot of childlike in us, and a lot of we don't want to conform, and we shouldn't have to. Even with what's going on, you should get another job. It's like, no, but we are creatives, and this is what we do, and it's okay. And right now, let's just do things that bring us joy.